Okay guys, here we are at a charging station. I don't have a cameraman, I'm doing this all myself. It's been a while since I posted a video because I've been really busy. I had taken this Toyota RAV4 and added a DC fast charging connector to the front here with a logo that folds down on there. Now, I had about a year ago almost, I had put in CCS1, the American standard CCS1 instead of CCS2, and had a lot of difficulty. Got it going, got it working on about 90% of the chargers, and it just seemed to be such a hassle that whenever I'd find an issue, I'd have to work with people in Europe to try to get edit the file and so that it would work. I decided to go with Chademo, which is a much simpler electronics inside on the vehicle, and because they just invented an adapter that goes Chademo to CCS1 adapter. I'll show you that. Okay, now you might be wondering if we have both plugs here. I was just using the Chademo plug down here. Now I have this adapter. Like I said, I made this emblem. It opens up. You can now plug in this adapter and turn it on. Use that other plug, the one that's usually works everywhere you go. Plug that one in, and now we start charging. And light goes solid. And it's charging. Now this 12%, that's not, it's really at about 75%. You just ignore that. I'm going to go ahead and show you some other features. If you have a RAV4, then you're going to be interested in this. I switched the screen to a basically Android based, and then you can somewhere here, okay, this is Android Auto, so you got to exit out of that, go to your Chrome, and well, out of habit I had my phone on hotspot, but you want to connect to the car because I added a module. Okay, here's the, go to your Wi-Fi setting, this one here, ESP, connect to that one, then go back here and you're going to go to 192.168.4.1. this is a web interface. And I'll set up another page for how to get all these settings right, but one of the main ones is right here, the 387. Anyway, I just changed that. It's 376. We need that at 376 because when I AC charge this at home full charge, which you could actually charge it higher than that, there's a setting where you can, if you're going to go on a trip, you can charge higher than that. They recommend not doing it very often though. But 376, that's a normal full charge. So you set that, it'll, and 120 amps. I mean, all these settings, like this is what you'll need. And here's one that threw me for a loop. Of course, that has to be 500K, but this one, 310. If I was below that voltage, it wouldn't even charge, which would suck. So you might, if you're below 310, change that. But down here, it'll show you what you're doing at the moment. And let's hit auto and then refresh, so it's going to live update. This will be the current voltage right now. There we go, it's starting to move. So we only wanted to charge a 376. And you can see it's not at 120 amps, which it would normally be charging at. It's down at 65. So it's tapering itself out down. You can see we're almost at a full charge. So that's some nerdy stuff. I mean, the gist of this whole thing though is we can take a EV that did not ever have fast charging. The only thing it had was regular home charging. You see that? That's pretty dark out here, you guys. Okay, and you guys can probably tell I'm a little excited about this. Here, this is called a zombie verter. The guy in England makes these. I can't think how much it is. Like 400, you put a lot of it together yourself, or I think 900, and he puts it all together and sends it to you. This can be used on a lot of EVs for it to do everything. Control the speed, the throttle, the heater, the regen, all that stuff. All we're using it for is to just run the Chademo, whatever they call it. So now you see these blue wires down here. This is where I tapped into this has a Model X Tesla motor in it. It came, well, Toyota sent this car to Tesla, and they made about 4,000 of them. Tesla put their drivetrain in them. So basically I have a system where we can tap into any Model X motor and add this DC fast charging system. Specifically for this one, I added this it's got neodymium magnets inside of here that keep it closed, make it easy to close and open, and make it look good to have the charger plugging in the front. You don't need to open the hood like this. There is another company that adds the whole system right up here, and you have to open up the hood and plug it in up here. So these blue wires go down underneath the headlights where I have the contactors down in there, and then really very simple with this Chademo. I had a CCS1 set up in here, and it had to have another additional BMW module, plus the zombie verter, plus the contactors. And there's also a current sensor, ISA current sensor, that both of them needed. But I figured we'll go the simpler route with the Chademo. A lot of chargers already have this plug here. Some of the newer ones that are just coming out, they stop even putting this plug out, and that's where the Nissan Leaf, up until last year, all their cars had this connector. So that made another company hurry up and make one of these adapters here that basically has a computer inside of it that speaks CCS1 over here, and it speaks Chademo over here. And has this one is nice because it has a battery inside of it. It actually has I call it a Tesla battery in it, and it's a pretty nice setup. Now I have the reliability of being able to charge it any CCS1 charger or the Chademo, which that's irrelevant. All right, you guys. I did have enough extra parts to make one, to send somebody one of these if they want to be like it's not really a beta tester because I've tested all the charges in my area. I'm planning on a trip to Chicago. I haven't needed to do this, but there is a way, if you have an issue with the charger, you can put in a USB, and after you have a failed charge, you put in the USB and it will download that file to there, and then you send it to the people that make this adapter, and they will make a fix that you can then update this. And after that point, it will work on whatever charger you were having an issue with. And hopefully with enough people, all the Nissan Leafs out there, they're pretty much going to end up hitting all the chargers out there that have issues. And I believe this one's already, somebody's already went from Florida to New York, all over the place, and has found all the issues and had them update it. So I don't think there's really going to be much more updating, but there could be some chargers in the future that have a problem, and then whoever comes across that, please send that file to the manufacturer, and then I'll go in there and get the updated. It's pretty easy to update it. You put the file onto the USB, and then you turn it on, and a couple seconds later it's updated, and then you take the USB out. Okay. Happy flying, everyone. And like, subscribe, all that stuff. Actually, really just subscribe. You probably already subscribed, but getting at 1,000 subscribers here, and just another 15 more, I think. 10, 20, I don't know. I don't know what that'll happen. I think I'll get like $30 a month or something, but it's just kind of cool. Alright, guys. Oh, if you do have this vehicle, there's some things that maybe, if anybody's good at can sniffing, there's some things I want to get accomplished, at least for the security system on here. If you add a security system, usually you can download your vehicle, and this one doesn't have a file in there that we could download to be able to just simply install a security. I want like remote start, even though you don't start the engine. I want it to warm itself up by the remote. Those ones that do 2 miles away, or the ones that use your app on your phone with a monthly subscription. and then if we can do some can sniffing, where you can do that, where you can charge it like 110%, a little bit extra. I don't know if it's, you know, what you can do with the normal headset that comes in here. There'd be a way to sniff that out, and I don't know how we can set it up to be able to use that with the Android. Maybe there's another, I don't know who's got that kind of knowledge to do that. Otherwise, it's something I'm gonna have to track down. It took me like almost a year just to get this far. I've put in 2 systems in here, one CCS1 system, and I was the first one in America to charge at a CCS1 for any what are these, EV conversions. I mean, this isn't, well, I guess it is, Tesla converted it, but for any EV conversion, they were first getting it done in Europe, and then I jumped into the forums and I got some help there. Mainly Big E Pie, if you're watching, thank you very much for the very first file that I was able to beta test and get that to work. Unfortunately, since I had issues with like 10% of the chargers I went to, that just wasn't going to work for me, where the Chademo works at all Chademo, because it's a pretty simple language. And then now that it's pretty much China, they're the ones that developed that thing. This adapter that has the computer inside of it. Now that we got that, and they got the support, and then basically everybody who has a Nissan Leaf became the beta tester, and they're out there finding any chargers that have issues and getting that fixed. I figured I would go this route. Now I'm pretty secure. Unfortunately, now they're going to the Tesla connector, and there is an adapter, because my my Model X has a adapter for CCS1 to Tesla. I would hate to stick another adapter in here, but it might happen when once Tesla opens up to EV conversions or whatever, to cars that had Chademo, or the Nissan Leaf. Once Tesla allows Nissan Leafs to charge using an adapter like this, then we'll have to put the CCS1 to, or the NACS to CCS1 to Chademo. It'll be a whole bunch of little connectors hooked in front here. But it looks like in Florida even a lot of the chargers have the NACS connector on there, and it has nothing to do with Tesla anymore. So, but they have NACS and the CCS1 connector on there currently. It may get phased out in 10 years or something, and you're going to need to use that adapter. All right, guys, I've talked long enough. Looks like I'm at well over 12 minutes, and probably more than that with the B-roll footage I'm going to throw on the front of this. All right, subscribe, all that stuff. Bye. Happy flying. Okay, guys, I had to add this one on here. Here's all these chargers. Not a single Chademo plug. They're all CCS1. Come over here. There it is again. It says 12%, and I'm at like 90% from the last charge I was just at. But there would be no way to charge a Nissan Leaf if you, see if I can get back here. See all these chargers. If you showed up here, you wouldn't have anything. So that's why this is so important. But the problem with this, it just came out, and it was $1,200 about 4 months ago, and now it's $900, and I've been screwing with this for a year, so I figured I'll just go ahead and buy it and be done with it. So now I can go ahead and take this on some trips. Of course, now I got the Tesla. But anyway, I did finish it. I was stressed out and freaking out for a long time, but now I can take it anywhere. And who's those people that got sued for cheating? Dieselgate. Volkswagen. And they got Electrify America. They had, US said, part of the lawsuit, they had to put electric chargers all the way across America. Well, it's like every 60 miles on all the interstates, there's a Electrify America charger. I've been out there, and it works perfectly out there too. But Electrify America just put in new chargers, so they shut one of these down for a couple weeks, putting in new chargers, and they ended up putting in one for Chademo for the Nissan. But you know, you don't always have to pull this big old honking thing out, because they're more than likely 90% of the time there's going to be a Chademo. But now 1/3 of the time that Chademo is going to be broke, so that's why you want this thing. So $900 now. I'm assuming it's going to settle in around $500. I've been trying to contact the manufacturer of this to get a discount code added, and I'll put that down in the description. Otherwise, I did find another person who has one. I'll just send the business that way. I mean, I'm not sure what I would get if you use the discount code. But anyway, you know, subscribe to me, because I'm going to be building the amphibious motorcycle. Just think how awesome that's going to be, where we get off work, get on your motorcycle, drive down to the river, and just drive right across the water, and maybe go up to the other side of the river and drive right on out, and plane across just like a jet ski, you know, not just paddling through real slow. We're gonna make it right. And I seriously doubt YouTube's gonna give me this kind of money, but I would love to be one of them goofballs that takes like a Prius, and you know how I like to do those foam videos. Well, I could make styrofoam all across the bottom so that the Prius will float, and put in like a jet ski motor in the back, and extend the wheels. I could do all kinds of crazy stuff. So let's hope that I'm that guy one day. I'm gonna be retiring in a while, so I don't, you know, just hang with me for another 9 years. We'll get to that point then, or we might get there sooner. But for sure, we're going to be working on this amphibious motorcycle soon. This thing drug me down for like a whole year, and I could not stop until I got here. But, all right, still says 12%. 4 hours remaining. It's only got like 5 minutes. If I go in and look on the screen in there, it's already tapering down. All right, you guys, the third time this video, like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Happy flying.